Question 12, this is another quantitative evidence question. It says, which choice describes data from the table that supports the hypothesis? So you could read the whole thing, but at the bottom, you will probably notice it says hypothesized right here. And so that's going to be the key. You could start by reading the hypothesis, but that would be a shortcut, and shortcuts cut scores short. It's a tongue twister, but it's true. So always start at the beginning and just read the whole thing, fully comprehend. So let's take a read. The average number and duration of torpor bouts. Torpor is about being tired, sluggish and tired. A bout is a period of intense activity. Like a bout is usually like a fight, like a bout, some battle. And arousal in this case probably means waking up. But I think all of these words will be in the text, so you don't have to just know this off the top of your head. And this is for Alaska marmots and Arctic ground squirrels, two different types of animals. As you read through, you might find a lot of vocab that you don't know, or you just might not get the story of the graph right away, and that's fine. It's completely acceptable to just push down to the text in that case. Let's give that a shot this time. When hibernating, Alaska marmots and Arctic ground squirrels enter a state called torpor. Torpor minimizes the energies that their bodies need to function. So that's kind of a type of hibernation. They get really, they minimize their energy output here. Often, a hibernating animal will come out of a torpor state, and it's called an arousal episode. Like I said, you're waking up, and its metabolic rate will rise. Its body will burn some of the energy that it needs to survive. So that would be a bad thing. And Alaska marmots, they hibernate in groups, and so they burn less energy, keeping warm because they got all their buddies around them. It's really warm and cozy in there for those marmots. And the researcher hypothesized, here's the key part. Okay, we have to focus here. The researcher thought, okay, well, because these squirrels hibernate alone, they don't have their buddies to snuggle with in hibernation, they would probably they would show longer bouts, like periods of torpor. So I guess they would sleep longer and deeper, and they would have less waking up episodes. Okay, that kind of makes sense, because if you are really cold, you're probably going to have longer periods where you're asleep. I'll just say sleep for torpor here, and you're not going to wake up. So less waking up. That's less arousal here. Simplify. Okay, we need proof. We need evidence for that hypothesis. Let's have a look. A. The Alaska marmots' arousal episodes lasted for days. That might be backwards, because definitely it's backwards, because the marmots should be short and the ground squirrels one should be quite long. So I'm going to say no to that because it's completely opposite. B, the Alaska marmots and the ground squirrels both had several days of torpor for each bout on average. And if they're both the same, that doesn't support the idea that the Arctic ground squirrels would have longer ones. So it's irrelevant. It doesn't support at all. B is gone. C, the Alaska marmots had shorter torpor bouts than the ground squirrel. Okay, this is backwards logic here, so let me get this straight. That would mean the ground squirrels had longer. Okay, that seems to match. They're playing around with the logic here. The ground squirrels had longer bouts and they had shorter arousal. That means they wake a lot less. So I'm gonna say keep C. That seems to perfectly match. Let's look at D. The marmots had more torpor bouts than arousal. So it's comparing each of those for the marmots. But we're talking about the ground squirrels, so this is totally off topic. D is out. C is our final answer. And there you go.